Hi, welcome. Usually I've been doing Psalms in the Palms if you've been following my videos, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. You can call it not quite a Psalm in the Palm, because today is December 25th, and I know you might not be listening to this video today, but I think it's important to talk about the date and also the significance of what should be celebrated today. The date, December 25th, people have all sorts of opinions and all sorts of thoughts. There are some people who say it's a religious holiday. Why is it a federal holiday? And they fight about it. Other people are just glad that they have another day off at the end of the year. Some people look at the message of Santa and lights and Christmas trees and reindeer and gifts and very, very generic messages about peace and hope and goodwill. And it's a warming feeling toward the end of the year as we have this day off, and some people really appreciate that as well. But the bottom line is there's no substance, no strength to it. Tomorrow, the day is going to be just like any other day, and all that stuff is going to move in the past. Some people look at it as a time where you have to buy gifts, and you have all the pressure of the finances of buying gifts, and you have family, and you have all the emotional stuff that goes on with family. It's fun to get together with family. It's always a wonderful time, but there's always tensions. There's always frictions. I don't know about your home, but my home tends to get very chaotic during the holiday time, and it gets overwhelming sometimes for people. Some people have absolutely nothing going on, and they see all the stuff going on TV, and they're overwhelmed with loneliness and maybe even bitterness, because they see all these other people supposedly enjoying this holiday and they're all alone. There's such a wide variety of opinions. Even among believers in Jesus, there are those who sort of absorb the festival pictures of the season, the tree, the lights, and all that stuff. And there are some who look at the pagan origins, supposedly, of some of these things and are dead set against it. And there are some who say, well, Jesus certainly was born, but he certainly wasn't born on December 25th, so we shouldn't be celebrating this day at all. Again, there's a lot there, and I don't want to focus on that. I just want to take a few minutes to talk about what's really important, and that's the idea of acknowledging that Jesus was born. We could fight about the date, we could fight about the decorations, we could fight about whether it's a religious holiday or not. It certainly, in a sense, is. It's a faith-based holiday because ultimately even the name reflects the fact that it points to Jesus. The real question is, what are you going to do with Jesus? In all the glitz and the glamour and all the gifts and all the emotional overwhelmment of family and friends and everything else that's going on top of everything else that has gone on this year in 2020, it's very, very easy to lose sight of the person of Jesus. But think about this unique person. There was no one like him that was ever born. The scriptures spoke about him through the prophets over 700 years before he was born. Micah, hundreds of years before he was born, said he would be born in Bethlehem. Isaiah said he would be born of a virgin, and he would be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. And if that's not clear enough, Isaiah 9:6, unto us a child is born, to us a son is given. The government will rest upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God. It's hard to see that. And the Everlasting Father and the Prince of Peace. A lot of those names reflect deity. A lot of those verses show this child is no ordinary child. He's more than just a child. He's God in the flesh. And many early interpreters before the time of Jesus rejected this because it just seemed like a conundrum that they couldn't solve. It seemed an impossibility. How could the scripture say such a thing? Because it's not possible. But the scripture also tells us in Isaiah that he was going to suffer and die. And Isaiah says some amazing things. He says, all we like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way. He includes himself in that equation. And if you read that chapter, it can't mean anything else. But the Lord has laid on him, this unique one, this different one, is able to carry sin because he doesn't have any of his own. He's able to do it because he is more than just a man. And he needs to do it because ultimately we have no hope or help without it. We can sing songs about peace on earth, goodwill to men. We can talk about hope for the future, but all of these things are anchored into the birth of this child and what he was going to do for us. I pray that you would consider that even as this day comes to a close, or as we move on into the rest of the year, because the date that we celebrate it isn't as important as the fact that we celebrate it. And to be honest, we should celebrate it every day as we live our lives, because it's the only hope and help that we have. I pray that you would consider that, and you would think about that, and that you would have a blessed time until we see each other again. God bless you all.